Hi, I'm Tina Ann Middleton, author of the Forestville series, and I would like to welcome you to the writing journey. Today, we're going to talk about setbacks and how we handle them. We'll be right back. Setbacks, they happen. They're a part of every area of our lives. The important thing is how we handle them, especially when we're looking at writing setbacks. I'm going to share a story with you of something that happened to me and also share with you what I have had to learn from this. First thing we have to do when we have a setback is accept that they're going to happen. It is part of life. I love to read the love-inspired books, especially love-inspired suspense. And when I first began to write my novel, what I had in mind was that I wanted to submit it to Love Inspired. While I was in the process of writing the novel, Love Inspired did an author search. Oh, I got so excited. I worked on that first chapter and the synopsis. I got people to help me. I rewrote the thing at least a half a dozen times. I took time off from work so I could focus on this. And when I finally felt it was ready to submit, I turned it in. I was so excited. I was already planning how I was going to sign that contract, and I was going to write for Love Inspired. I got a very nice rejection email from them. They complimented me. They gave me specific reasons why what I had sent them did not work. Wow. Needless to say, I was very disappointed. There might have been a few tears. So, what do? Do I give up writing, or do I learn from it? As I thought about it, I realized a few things. One, even that first chapter, it was not ready. It was way too raw. It was still like first draft kind of material. And I realized, no, it really wasn't ready to be submitted. I thought it was. I'm brand new at writing a novel. But it just was, the ideas were not fully formed. The story was not fully formed. But I also realized that in a way they did me a favor, not just in telling me what was wrong with it, but it freed me to write this book the way I felt it needed to be written. Let me explain that. With the love-inspired suspense books, generally they'll look at the hero and the heroine, those 2 points of view. To tell the story that I told in Mistaken Target, I needed more points of view. So, Love Inspired turning me down freed me to write that story the way it needed to be told. I would still like to write for Love Inspired, and I hope to get to do that someday. But that was a major setback, and I had a lot of learning I had to do from that. Dealing with discouragement. You know, discouragement can be a huge problem for us. I mean, that's like a mighty weapon in Satan's hands if he can get us discouraged. One thing I get discouraged about is book sales. You know, when those books are selling, I was like, oh, wow, this is so cool. And when I see those book sales drop, but I have to understand, and I'm sharing this with you, understand book sales will drop. You know, sometimes people will want to buy your book, and sometimes they won't. Now, if you get stuck, like has happened to me, seek advice from other writers or from people who sell and market books. You can also look at, there are books, there are videos that you can go to. So don't just feel like, oh, well, I guess I'm just stuck. Seek that advice, look things up. Then you can get discouraged about reviews. And again, reviews can be great. They're encouraging when somebody gives you a good review, and you can learn from those good reviews. But you know what? You can also learn from a bad review. Now, there are two sides to this. If it is an honest review, somebody is telling you, this is what I liked, or this is what I did not like, then read it over and see if it's advice that you can use. But there are people who have nothing better to do with their days than to be trolls. And they'll go in there and they'll do a bad review just because. There's not necessarily anything wrong. They just do a bad review. And if you get reviews like that, disregard it. In fact, if it is a troll, you can report it, like to Amazon. And a lot of times they'll remove it. I would not answer them, because if you answer them, I don't think Amazon will remove it. I went over this on a different writing journey, and I showed you an example. You'll see that in one of the other writing journeys of a troll who their only objection to my book was that it was a Christian book. I answered them, and I think because I answered them, Amazon left it up. Be careful about answering those. So that's just a couple examples of things that can be setbacks. Rejection, book sales that just don't come up to those expectations, and reviews that you feel that that's not the review I was hoping for. We can choose how to handle these setbacks. We can choose, well, I'm just going to sit in the corner and cry. I'm going to give up writing because nobody likes my book anyway. Or we can choose to keep on writing. As for me, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep on writing. I hope you will too. You have a great week.